what also is very interesting is our top 15 here, brother, because you and I think what you said is very important. We didn't want to just, well, this is where they were in the preseason rankings. No. What did you do? What were you able to do, and where does that rank you? And maybe we should have moved some teams even higher, but that's where I am on this top 15 about like each and every week, like right now. It's almost like a power ranking, if you will, of what these guys are doing.
No, I view it as let's just completely throw out what week one of the preseason poll was. You still have to kind of bake into the fact, like, who's the coaching staff? Who do you have returning at certain position groups? Just kind of give you like a feeling of, okay, maybe this team didn't look as good as week one as we thought they would be, but they're still going to be good. Clemson is a perfect example of that. I still believe in that roster. I still believe in Dabo. So, like, they're not going to just jump outside the top 10 because they lost their first game of the season against someone that may be pretty high up on our poll. So it's balancing of, yes, taking into consideration what the roster looks like and kind of expectations heading into the season, because we only do have a 1-game sample size. It's not like we have 2, 3, 4 weeks to kind of say, okay, we were wrong about our preseason. So you have to kind of still go with some of your gut before that first game, but also do take in the fact that, hey, we just watched some quality football. We watched some good on good. When I mean like top 10 teams going at it against each other. So you can judge how good a football team is. And hey, maybe that team was ranked too low heading into the season. So I really like our power rankings. I think it's a good one. Please let us know down below, who would you have in your top 15? Who would be your number one team in college football if you were doing your power rankings? All right. Do you want to start from 15 and work our way up, or you want to go from?
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Like the college football playoff, we're just going to reveal each and everybody here. Do you want to do it in fives? You're going to go one at a time?
Let's do it in fives, and we'll kind of talk
good.
about what we think in those five. So,
15,
15, Arizona State. 14, Illinois. Big game this week. 13, Michigan. 12, South Carolina. 11, Notre Dame, our one-loss team, Notre Dame. We have a few one-loss teams inside our top 15. Notre Dame right there at 11. Overall performances from all of them, I think you and I, we still like Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is going to get it going offensively. They're going to be really good on the defense side of the football. I love Marcus Freeman. We saw last year they won a big game versus A&M, lost the next week, and then kind of reeled off an incredible run up to national championship. So I think Notre Dame will be just fine right there at that number 11 spot, even though they're 0-1 to start the season.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any doubt about that. And it was a rock fight, right? I mean, it was a game-winning field goal with a minute left, so you don't want to punish them, too much there. South Carolina, we saw start really, really hot, kind of flutter around, and then finish really hot. So how can they get that middle ground, continue to build there? I was really impressed with their defense. Thought that defense was going to take a step back. Michigan, we're going to talk about ad nauseum. Cannot wait to talk about them and excited to see this game they have coming out. And I'm excited to see Illinois. I'll be with them in person this weekend. They travel to Duke in a big matchup, ranked matchup there, and Duke probably right on the edge. I mean, they won 9 games last year. They feel like they are much better offensively this year with Darian Mensah. We'll talk about that more. And then little Arizona State just hanging on. I think one thing that was interesting about our top 15, no Alabama. Are they gone? Are they out of the rankings completely?
Damn, did we not put Alabama in there?
Whoops.
What?
Uh-oh. Bye, Bama. See you later. You know what I heard too?
Damn, I didn't even notice that.
Reese Davis, who is an Alabama grad, proud. He said, I didn't rank him in my top 25.
Ooh, that's a little aggressive. The stat of...
He doubled down on it.
You know what the crazy stat is? They've already lost 4 non-ranked games. And what, Saban lost like 4 in his career? I mean, we're not talking about
that dude's a cyborg. He's the greatest ever. He's the greatest ever.
The talent gap between Alabama and those teams, even Florida State, I don't know if I've seen like the blue chip ratio this year, but there is a number of big star gap even between those two teams, and it wasn't even close. If you missed that, make sure you go watch our recap show from yesterday as we break down what we saw in that FSU Alabama game. But yeah, man, that is not so bueno for Alabama. I mean, you know what's crazy? Like when I sent mine to you, you sent me to yours, and we kind of figured out how we want to do it. Alabama wasn't even on my mind. That's how bad the weekend was.
It'll be interesting to see where they end up. It'll be interesting to see. Speaking of Florida State, the Noles in the top 10, number 10. I presented that to you. How did you feel when I said that? You no quarrels at all?
No, once again, like I have to, and I hope all fans do too, get over the fact that last season was last season. These are new rosters, and you had a game in which you were dominant against a team that we all projected was elite. So yes, Alabama's out, Florida State's in a top 15, but man, they just checked off a lot of boxes: the physicality, elite quarterback play, elite playmakers on the outside, tremendous play calling on both sides as well too. No, I walk away watching that film on Florida State saying that is a fast, legitimate team that's good in the places that you need to be considered to be inside our top 10. So no, I like them right there at number 10. And honestly, they might have been able to move up a little bit more, especially with that win.
I think so too. And again, it's such a, because last year's just right there in your head, and you're like, okay, get rid of it, go out, go away, go away. And if this was, if we just got rid of last year and it was the playoff snub to here, you're like, oh yeah, top 5 team in the country. But that did happen, and we still, have that bad taste in our mouth. But I think they're going to continue to rise. We've got Florida at number 9. Texas fell to number 8, not terrible. Clemson falls to 7, and then Oregon at 6. We let Texas and Clemson hang on there because I do think you and I both really believe in their rosters. We think they played super high-quality opponents, and they lost by 1 touchdown. Like, it's not like they got aired out. I was watching ESPN, and of course I'm saying this because it's Clemson, but of course it happened because it was Clemson. They're saying, oh, LSU steamrolled them. They handled them. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Clemson had a chance to tie it at the end of the game. Like, what kind of game were you watching? But I get it, narratives and things of that nature. Of the rest of the top 10 there, who do you feel the most confident about making even steps to get in the top 5?
You talking
in
about
the
their
next couple
6
weeks?
through 10?
6 through 10 there.
Well, I will say this, like I'm more confident. We talked about in the show yesterday too, and I'll reiterate it. I'm more confident in Clemson getting it figured out than I am Texas. So definitely more Clemson there. Oregon, I still want to see their new quarterback going against quality opponents before I feel really good that Oregon has a chance this year. We'll talk about UF and their game versus USF, so we'll dive more into what that roster looks like. But I still think that's a good football team there at the number 9 spot. But I would say, still through that 6 through 10, I would say Florida State, I'm still with you. Like, I got to put last year behind me because that was a really good football team and a really good win against Alabama. And I still am very high on Clemson. I'm not going to let that one game, that one loss kind of haunt me because guess what? That team they lost to, once again, is pretty high on our rankings. So I still think Clemson has all the pieces you need to make a run with inside the ACC and obviously a run to get to a national championship as well.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with all that.
All right, let's get to our 5 through 1. Number 5, my dogs at the number 5 spot. Number 4, Miami. The U coming in at 4. At number 3, Penn State. Number 2, Ohio State. And the new number 1 for the Mac and Murray College Football Show Week 2 edition is your LSU Tigers. They looked the part. They went on the road. One of the most hostile environments in the country. Oh, by the way, we didn't talk about this yesterday. Are they the new Death Valley? Like, for sure? Do they own the name?
Breaks my heart.
I think LSU
kills me.
We did not talk about this narrative. LSU, the official Death Valley of college football. Clemson, you can't claim it. You can't claim it.
Hurts
I'm
my
sorry.
heart.
I'm sorry, EMAC.
Lost in the Natty, lost at home. I'm not going to verbally say it, but I'll just agree with what you said. But we're still going to call it that. But it stinks, man. All that junk I'm talking. I will say the fans were great, though. They were so loud. That place was ruckus. It was incredible. And now we got to go to LSU's Death Valley next year. Can't wait, with a brand new starting quarterback. First game. Going to be awesome.
Well, LSU have a brand new starting quarterback too, though. LSU have a new starting quarterback.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. He'll even it out a little bit. But I think the reason we gave, thanks for bringing that up, by the way. I wasn't sad. I was really excited about this episode. Now I'm in despair and depressed all over again. But I think the reason we gave LSU the nod over Ohio State, because a lot of people probably like, what the heck are you doing? They went on the road and did that, and won that game. And if it would have been reversed, if Ohio State would have went to Texas and did it, they probably would be number 1. But I think that matters. And I think there was some more competence right now offensively from those guys at LSU. And I was blown away by the defense. Like, I did not expect that at all. They're going to win a bunch of games defensively. They were physical. They had a game plan, and they attacked that thing. So that's why I thought LSU should be number 1.
Yeah. I like Miami in this 5 spot. I think Miami has a lot of good things and a lot of big time places. Really good the lines of scrimmage on both sides. That offensive line was terrific. The receivers looked better than what we were expecting. And then obviously Carson Beck is still in my mind one of the best quarterbacks in America. So you talk about elite quarterback play, elite offensive line play, really good defensive line play, and then just overall a good roster around that support. I think that's a team that obviously showed us a lot against Notre Dame this weekend. And I know that was a one score game, a 3-point game, but they dominated. I mean, they absolutely dominated that football game against a good
Yeah.
roster.
And
So
that's
I
what
really like Miami.
Yeah, that's what was so funny to me. So we had a couple of people yesterday because I said Miami cruises to victory, and they're like, "What are you talking about? Cruise? They didn't cruise." It never, ever, never
Never felt close.
felt like it was out of hand. It never felt like
Mm-mm.
it was in question. Excuse me. I just it just felt like Miami was winning. It felt like they were in total control, even when it was tied. Just because I believe in Carson Beck that much, he's handling the situation, and it felt like Miami knew that too. That's why I think they didn't separate a little bit. They're just like, we'll just win this game and get out, hide everything still, not show our hand, and we'll be ready to go and we'll get out of this thing. So I loved it. I love the game plan. I love the attack, and I'm excited to see how much better that side of the ball can get. Same thing with the defense.
All right, so that's our top 15. LSU 1, Ohio State 2, Penn State 3, Miami 4, UGA 5, Oregon 6, Clemson 7, Texas 8, UF, the Gators 9, FSU 10, Notre Dame 11, South Carolina 12, Michigan 13, Illinois 14, and Arizona State 15. Drop your comments down below. Let us know who would be in your top 15 if you made your power rankings heading into week